T is the spot.
T?
T right there.
You get a microphone, I get...
T.
I have nothing.
No.
C'est où? C'est où? Okay. Thank you. Okay, voilà, merci. Good morning, everyone. Thank you very much for taking the time to come here. We're spending the next day and a half in what we're calling a cabinet planning forum. So it's a combination of getting some external perspectives on the world, on the United States, what's happening with technology, the mood of the country, and a cabinet meeting, a very clear focus on what we're going to be doing over the course of the next 12 months, what our priorities are. Of course, we're having a cabinet meeting to help set those priorities, so I don't want to pre-wire them. But in effect, we're meeting at it during challenging economic times. We know that. Fundamentally, we have this U.S.-driven transformation of the global trading system with impacts on Canada. We have a riskier global environment. We have changes in technology that bring both promise but also dislocation. And so the focus of the government from the start has been on what we can control. Can't necessarily control the U.S. trade actions, global developments, technology, but we can control how we build this economy here at home. And so when we look forward, a focus on launching Build Canada Homes, core to our goal of doubling the pace of home building over the course of the next decade. Accelerating, identifying and accelerating the implementation of major projects. A focus on an industrial strategy in this changing global environment. Of course, for those sectors most infected, but more broadly, including a defense industrial strategy as well. And a focus on keeping our communities safe, securing our borders, and continuing to make life more affordable for Canadians. So those are the foundations. If I can repeat en français, une version en français, c'est pas exact, c'est pas une traduction exacte comme d'habitude. Mais alors aujourd'hui et demain, c'est une forum de planification du cabinet. Oui, y compris une réunion officielle du cabinet. Il y aura des décisions demain. Le contexte, c'est dans un contexte d'une économie avec des grands défis à cause de la bouleversement du commerce externe causé par les États-Unis, premièrement, les grands risques à l'échelle de géopolitique, et puis des grands changements technologiques. Alors, il y a des occasions, mais des grands défis en même temps. Alors, nous mettons l'accent sur les choses que nous pouvons maîtriser, que nous pouvons contrôler, c'est-à-dire les grands projets à l'échelle nationale. Il faut les accélérer, il faut les identifier et accélérer. Deuxièmement, le lancement de Maison Canada avec l'objectif de doubler le rythme de construire des maisons ici au Canada. Une nouvelle politique industrielle, y compris une nouvelle politique industrielle de la défense, parce qu'on va dépenser beaucoup afin de sécuriser, afin d'améliorer la sécurité des Canadiens et Canadiens, mais il faut dépenser plus ici au Canada. Et finalement, mettre l'accent sans relâche sur l'abordabilité des Canadiens et la sécurité des Canadiens et Canadiennes dans nos communautés. And with that, I'll be happy to take your questions, young man.
All right, thank you very much.
One question, get through.
Yeah.
Thank you.
David Aiken, Global News. Good morning. I'd like you to get you to talk a little bit about the budget process, the kind of discussions Cabinet and caucus are going to have, and also in this context. After defense, the two biggest departments spending-wise, Indigenous Services and CERNA. The AFN is meeting in Winnipeg, and there's many Indigenous governments are worried they will disproportionately take the cuts. So can you speak about the spending review and the discussions you'll have in that context?
Thank you. So the first thing in terms of our approach to budgeting, and we've said this from the start, is to spend less so that Canadians can invest more. And my opening comments, the context for this meeting, what Canadians have been living through since the start of the year with all the economic uncertainty, it's never been more important. So we need to set up the country to invest. The government needs to spend precious taxpayers' dollars as carefully as possible. So big focus on reducing our operational spending, think of it as our day-to-day spending, while at the same time catalyzing enormous investment in those big projects and building homes. With respect to, David, your reference to Indigenous Canadians and the focus there. Our focus is working with Indigenous Canadians. Our focus is working with them obviously to support health, educational outcomes, infrastructure in their communities, but as true partners in building this country. And we're very excited about having Dawn Farrell leading the Major Projects Office. Equally excited about the Indigenous Advisory Council, which will advise that Major Project Office. It will be announced next week. We expect to announce the membership of that next week, and then move forward accelerating. So with respect to all Canadians, including Indigenous peoples, we're going to build. We're going to focus on being efficient so we can build together and move forward. Thanks.
Bonjour, Monsieur le Premier ministre. Dans ce budget, est-ce qu'il y aura des intouchables, des endroits où vous ne voudrez absolument pas couper? Et est-ce que ce sera un budget d'austérité?
C'est un budget d'austérité et d'investissement en même temps. Et ça, c'est possible si on a une discipline. Il faut avoir une discipline sur des dépenses. Et c'est nécessaire. Par exemple, le taux de croissance des dépenses du gouvernement fédéral, pendant une décennie, c'est plus de 7% année par année. C'est plus rapide que le taux de croissance de notre économie. On doit cesser cette manière de gestion à l'échelle fédérale. Mais alors, ça c'est responsable, austérité si vous voulez, mais en même temps, le gouvernement va investir dans l'économie canadienne, aux travailleurs canadiens, des sociétés canadiennes, et on peut faire les deux. On peut faire les deux et on va faire les deux. Premièrement, en ce qui concerne des choses intouchables, oui, la santé, les transferts d'éducation, tout cela. Et les transferts à l'échelle pour des individus, y compris. On the last bit or the on the austerity? Look, it's both. It's both. The federal government has been growing spending as a whole at over 7% a year on average for over a decade. That's twice the rate of growth of the economy on average. It's not a sustainable situation. So we need to rein in spending. We need to find efficiencies. We're in the process of finding efficiencies. One of the big elements of the discussions over the next 2 days will be about those efficiencies. It won't be the final discussion of that. We'll continue to work on this right up to the budget. So we need to do that. But at the same time, we need to invest as a country. And it's finding those efficiencies. It's the responsible thing to do with Canadians' money. This is Canadians' money. It's not the government's money. It's a responsible thing to do with that. But in finding those efficiencies, we create the room for these big investments. And the key to our strategy for investing, whether it's Build Canada Homes or these major projects, I can give you other examples, but look at those two, because you'll be hearing more about both of those in the coming weeks, is that the federal government, sometimes working with the provinces, but government, there's a bit of measures to catalyze investment, to catalyze enormous private investment. And that's how we get the big multipliers, and that's how we're going to give ourselves more than anyone else can take away. Madame.
Good morning, Prime Minister. Ashley Brooks, CBC News. When was the last time that you exchanged messages or you spoke to the U.S. president? And it's been 4 months that you've been
very,
texts, messages.
It sounds like you're my teacher and I've been caught.
And It's been 4 months since you've been in government. How much longer do Canadians have to wait to see results from those talks with the U.S. president?
Okay, well, let's go to results. Right now, we have the best trade deal of any country in the world. Okay, those are results. We think it can be better, and we're working to make it better, but to be absolutely clear, 85% of our trade with the United States is tariff-free. Nobody else is in that position. Our average tariff is about 5.5%. That's the lowest average tariff of any country in the world. So right now we have the best, but we have real issues. Without question, we have real issues in steel, in aluminum, in forest products, in autos, potentially in pharma, copper, some other sectors. So there's these strategic sectors that the U.S. has focused on, where we have issues. And as well, there will be a review of CUSMA, our trade agreement with the U.S. and Mexico, starting next year. So we need to prepare for that. We need to lay the groundwork for that review, and we need to address as rapidly as possible these strategic sectors. Okay? So that's the overall context. So we're looking now, given that we've got the best deal, to really focus in on those strategic sectors and prepare the groundwork for that broader discussion on CUSMA. That's what we're doing. I last spoke, exchange messages. I last spoke to the President Monday evening. We spoke at length on a wide range of issues, including on trade, but geopolitical, other issues, labor issues, etc. It was a good conversation. We have a team, a very senior team. The clerk of the Privy Council is there in Washington as we speak, that is meeting with the U.S. counterparts. Don't expect immediate white smoke on one of these strategic sectors, but that's the type of conversation that we're having and will continue to have. As well, and this is a government that can do more than one thing at one time, as well as advancing those discussions in Europe and in Asia as we diversify our trade partners.
Est-ce que c'est possible en français sur la dernière fois que vous avez eu des échanges avec M. Trump et sur le moment où on peut espérer avoir cette entente?
J'ai eu une conversation assez longue et constructive avec le président, très constructive, si je peux dire, avec le président lundi soir, et sur plusieurs sujets, des enjeux géopolitiques et l'économie et le commerce entre le Canada et les États-Unis. Nous concentrons, nous mettons l'accent sur les secteurs stratégiques, l'acier, l'aluminium, le bois d'œuvre, automobile, tout cela. Et les préparations pour la revue de l'ASEAN. On s'attend à ce qu'il y ait des accords, petits accords dans les secteurs, dans quelques secteurs stratégiques. On verra, c'est pas une garantie, mais on fait de progrès. Nous avons des discussions constructives. Et à ce moment-ci, il y a une équipe avec le greffier qui est le plus haut fonctionnaire, maintenant à Washington pour des discussions avec les Américains. On verra. Sorry.
Yeah. Mr. Poilievre called this morning on the government to scrap the temporary foreign worker program. Is it time to shut the program down?
Well, I would say the following, which is that that program has a role. It has to be focused in terms of its role. And it's part of what we're reviewing. It's part of what we will be discussing, how well the temporary foreign worker program is working and how our overall immigration system is working. We've been absolutely clear as a government that we want, and we're putting in place policies so that the overall level of immigration as a proportion of the population will decline from around 7% today to around 5% several years from now. Now, the biggest contributor to immigration is not temporary foreign workers. It's a variety of other factors. And I will say, et je vais répéter en français parce que c'est important, when I talk to businesses around the country, particularly in Quebec, but elsewhere across the country, their number one issue is tariffs, and their number two issue is access to temporary foreign workers. Okay? Et pour le moment, c'est une des grandes demandes du gouvernement du Québec et c'est une des grandes demandes des entreprises québécoises. Il faut garder ce programme, pas éliminer ce programme. Alors, mais on peut, ce qui est clair, on peut améliorer le programme en total, ensemble de l'immigration. As a whole, it's clear that we can improve our overall immigration policies. We're working on that, and we're setting clear goals to adjust. I'll take one last. Yeah. Pardon. Sorry, but I figured.
Prime Minister, I'd like for you to, I guess, look at macro politics for a little bit. As you are aware, President Xi, President Kim, and President Putin met. What does this signify to you in terms of the geopolitical nature of what's going on? Has the world become more dangerous because of this resurgence of alignment? And how does that impact how you will deal with China when it comes to trade?
Yeah, I would say the following. Is the world a more dangerous place than it was during the 90s and early 2000s? Yes, it is. There were challenges then, but there are bigger challenges now. The power balances are shifting. Alliances are shifting. The interplay of technology with state actors and very active states, foreign interference, for example, from states in attempts to interfere with our democracy, with our society, are threats, and that's one of the reasons why we are redeveloping our national security policy, for example, which is something that we will see you will see in due course. So that's the first point. The second point, and you frame it as a sort of macro-political, macroeconomic question. There are opportunities, and there will continue to be opportunities, those opportunities will grow, to have some commercial relationships with foreign powers with which we do not agree about everything, okay? There are extreme versions of this. Russia is an extreme version of this. We are not interested in commercial relationships with Russia. We have sanctions on Russia. We've sanctioned 3,000 individuals and entities because of their illegal war in Ukraine. Our relationship with China, our relationship with India, I'm just going through the countries that were at this event: China, India, North Korea. See, North Korea, we're not really looking to develop a relationship there. We have fundamental differences with those regimes. We have differences with China, different approaches to a variety of things. But they are our second largest trading partner. And there are areas where we can cooperate. And we will look to potentially expand those areas for cooperation that are in ways that are consistent with our values and are in the interests of Canadians. I'll give you an example. And maybe I should probably actually go do what I came here to do, which is, well, of course, talk to you, but also have the cabinet meeting. You look at the issues around canola at present, and our broader agricultural exports, pea protein, other aspects, and fisheries. We're going to work hard to get that right. We're coordinating with the provinces. Our Minister of International Trade has been engaged. Our Foreign Minister is engaged. I will be engaged to work to find a solution for that, for our agricultural relationship. It's a good relationship. It's a relationship that existed for more than 5 decades, if you go back to the start of it. And within that context, there may be areas where, well, respecting and protecting Canadian sovereignty, Canadian security, we can expand the commercial relationship with things that China does well. So, I'm sorry, that's a long answer to an important question. The short, punchier answer would be yes, the world's a risky place. We've got to be careful, and we have to focus in where we can retain our sovereignty, enhance our sovereignty, and create opportunities for Canadians. And yes, there are a series of those such opportunities with China. Okay? Thank you very much. Merci beaucoup.